Hello and welcome to the amazing B4R YouTube channel, where we are going to see the new motorcycles for August from the Chinese government papers. So let's get to it. Here we see the new QJ 600. It's not so new, it's a bike that we've seen before. We saw it at EICMA from the brand Riehu. Here we see it from the brand QJ. Let's have a look. There's two versions. There's one with spoke tubeless rims, as we can see here, and the other one is with alloy rims. So this bike was made originally from another company called MV Agusta that makes more high-end bikes, but they decided not to produce these bikes. This company, MV Agusta, was connected to KTM, so there's a big story behind this bike. Anyway, this is the production version. We see an aluminum swing arm, 3 bags, 3 cases, so the weight will be of the bike with the 3 cases. That's what happens on the government papers in China. And as there is no version without the cases, I'm guessing they're only selling it there with the cases. You see some protective bars here, Brembo brakes, double stand, comfortable position for the passenger, a seat that appears to be comfortable, hand guards, and we don't see a wind protector here. It seems also that they've got different size wheels. This seems to be more like a 1917 configuration, and this seems to be a 1717 for a more road oriented configuration. So here, let's have a look. Are we finally gonna get this bike in Europe? I don't know, maybe they've got it in Riehu. Let me check. So they list it as a 707 Explorer. It's the bike here, but maybe we are getting a variation of it from QJ. Anyway, you can go to the site. It's Riehu. This is the Spanish site. Riehu is a Spanish company, I think. Anyway, back to our bikes. So maybe you can see some differences. I think the engine looks a bit different, but it might just be the side cover on this side. Anyway, these are the specs. 246 kilos with the cases, so minus 30, 216 say. And we've got the 2 versions of wheels, 110, 150 for the 1917 and 120, 160 for the 1717. Wheelbase 1505, very nice. 45 kilowatts. Twin cylinder, 554 cc. Okay, that's the QJ 600. Here we have the QJ 400 GS. I think I've seen this bike before. Let's have a look at it. Maybe they're saying something on it. It's in brakes. A sports bike. Wheelbase 1380, 110, 150 the tires. 39 kilowatts, it's a twin cylinder, 449 cc, 173 kilos. Okay, now this is something interesting from QJ. This is an what can I call this? Futuristic naked scooter. It looks awesome. I want to say, I don't know if it looks awesome. It looks interesting. It looks wild. It seems to be a motorcycle scooter because we see an engine here and it's chain driven. So it's technically, is it a scooter? Only if it's got automatic, what do you call it? Throttle. You see a huge exhaust here. Cool looking bike. I think this will be the thumbnail of the video because it's something new and interesting from QJ. We see a seat that doesn't look very comfortable. Let me zoom in. Okay, so we've got a little pillow here in case you go backwards. Tiny seat for the passenger who will be high up. Seems to be a decent amount of distance here for the knees. Huge suspension here for this kind of scooter. See an air canister here. Don't really see where this connects. Must connect to the swing arm somewhere here. This is the movement that we'll have. You see here what looks like a gear shifter. So I'm guessing this is a motorcycle. It looks like a scooter. Maybe it's got some fast quick shift operation, Brembo brakes, 2 discs in the front. We can't see the length of the upside down fork, but it looks very thick. I think this bike will be very heavy. I guess it'll be around 250 kilos. I'm guessing now, I have no idea. Okay, let me guess. These wheels will be 14, maybe 15, but they look the same in the front and the rear, so I'm gonna guess 14. Actually, the rear one looks bigger than the front one for some reason. The ratio of the chain looks like it will be a quick bike. See the frame here, you see a camera here, a tiny screen protector, wind protector, and the awesome exhaust. Anyway, a cool looking bike. I like the colors. Maybe all black would be cooler, or a blue, metallic blue, or I don't know, something else. I don't like this. So let's see, is the rear wheel bigger than the front one? And the engine, what do we think the engine is? It's kind of on the side, so maybe it's a twin cylinder engine with the cooling system here, and it's kind of sits like this here. Let's see, exciting. So this is the QJ 700, max speed 190. Curb mass 205, it's not bad. Nowhere near the 250 I said. Wheelbase 1550, so it's kind of big. Front and rear are 15, 120, 160. Not bad for a scooter. $56 kilowatts. It's a twin cylinder. 693 cc. So the new 700 cc scooter. This will be expensive. I guess around 8,000 euros, somewhere there, 9,000. But it looks cool, and if you've got the money for something like this. But as I said, it looks like a motorcycle, like the operation of it. So you'll need details, more details about it. 700cc scooter. Cool. Motorcycle, I meant, sorry. Here we have a not so interesting scooter, a QJ150T. Let's have a look at it. It's the Ford 150. Interesting. Lots of plastics. Unnecessary plastics. Curb mass 135, wheelbase 1325, 1325, yeah, that was correct. 14 in the front, 13 in the rear, 110, 130. And it is 12 kilowatts, 150cc, single cylinder. Oh yeah! Here we have a QJ Cruiser with a V engine, belt driven, comfortable seat for the driver, not so much for the passenger, but at least there is a seat. Brakes are unknown. I cannot see what they are. QJ motor. Okay, so let's read about it. We see it is a normal motorcycle here. I'm looking. So this is a 250 bike. That is a nice CC. It's not too much, not too little. For commuting. Max speed 129. 164 kilos full. Wheelbase 1400, so it's not so big. 16 in the front, 15 in the rear, 120, 150. And 20.7 kilowatts. It's a V-twin. You see here, 249cc. Okay, cool commuter. For some reason we see here the Benelli BKX again, I think, again. Single stand, something like an off-road motard thingy, more street oriented. I think the suspension is 18cc. They've changed something to it again. I don't know what it is. I don't really care. I saw the price, quite pricey this thing, so I've lost my interest in it. And it looks weird too. So BJ250. I could make a joke there, but I'm not going to. Max speed 129. Curb mass 147. Wheelbase 1390. Front and rear 17, 110, 150. 20 kilowatts, 250cc. It's a single cylinder. So this bike will be around 5,100 euros for a bit more, like, I don't know, 5,150. You can get the QJ, same company but different branding. 500. What is it called? This one here, 5,200, twin cylinder, much stronger, much more comfortable, a bigger bike. I fit on this. I'm really tall, and also besides that, the Benelli has a brother from QJ, same frame, but 2118 wheels, which looks much more interesting than this bike and might have a better price. So why bother getting this? Why? If the price is 5,100, we will see. It's not official yet. You see, it's got a protector under the engine. Anyway, that's the BKX again from China. This is new. I have not seen this one before. It's the new QJ 800 sports bike. It looks kind of smooth, I would say. Let's look at the specs. Max speed 260, so it's so slow. Curb mass 205, wheelbase 1410. Front and rear of 17, 120, 180, so big tires on this thing. 92 kilowatts, 778 cc. It's a 4-cylinder bike, so a big 4-cylinder bike that's not too heavy from QJ. might be interesting to some people. I think I see Brembo radial brakes here, the discs in the front, big aluminum swing arm. What else can we see? I don't know, it's a big sports bike, that's what it is. And I think that's all I've got to say about it. Also, I don't like the color. This is another scooter from Commuter. It's a Ford 250, I think this time. I think it says 250. And it's black and grey. Yeah, it's called the 250T. Max speed 114. Go weight 185. Wheelbase 1513, so it's kind of big. 13 in the front and the rear, 120, 150. 18.5 kilowatts, single cylinder, 250cc. Next we have some scooters from the brand with amazing name Long Dong. No, Dong Long. Okay. I just showed you this because I thought the name was funny. Dong Long. Hello, this is my Dong Long. Do you really want to know the specs of my Long Dong? Do you? Here we have again the Moto Morini 700 for some reason. I don't know what they've changed. We see a version with alloy rims. The rear tire on this one looks kind of big. And I don't know what else is different. You see a double stand, a cool looking bike. Let's read some specs. So it's the MM700. I think it's called something else. Probably out already. Max speed 175, curb weight 233 without cases. So it's a heavy bike. Wheelbase 1590. Front and rear 1917, 110, 150. Seem to have the same specs. 55 kilowatts. 693 cc, and it's a twin cylinder, I think. Yeah, probably. We see aluminum swing arm, but I think we've seen this bike in Europe, or at least at the ICMA. Brembo brakes. They don't look radial to me from here. The seat doesn't look super comfortable, but I like the dip it's got here. It makes the handlebars be very high up. It's cool for some people that are tall, maybe not so much for shorter people. And here we see spoke rims, but I don't know if they're tubeless. Maybe they are because there's an extra gap here. It's the kind doesn't go outside but goes to the center and sealed up. At Moto Morini in Greece, they usually have different prices depending on what rims you're getting. This here is a Xiangshui. It's probably called something else. It's just a mistake of the translation. You see a huge rear tire. Is it huge? No, it's very large this way, but not so much this way. We see it's belt driven V engine. The front tire looks kind of big and skinny. It's that system that looks like it's extra cool, but it's really just a cover, I think. It's low handlebar, like a bobber style, a bit the handlebar, I mean. And we see a nice big comfortable seat and a tiny uncomfortable seat for the passenger. So let's read the specs of this bike. It's the XS400. Max speed 155, not bad. Curb weight 170, not bad. Wheelbase 1550, not bad. The front's 19, the rear 17, not bad. So it's a big bike with a 400 engine. That's interesting. and 29 kilowatts. It's kind of low, isn't it, for 385cc, and it's a V-twin, so maybe I don't know what's going on there, but it is a big bike. Yeah, looks cool, I think, at least from this angle. This here is a B brand 150 scooter. I just kept this because it's got a weird design here in front, but the rest looks typical, and that's pretty much it. And I like the yellow on the back. I think that's what makes it pop out. These are the specs. Wow, 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 viva. Here we've got the Moto Morini with the cases, so the only thing will be different is the weight, so 25 kilos more, I think. No, it's 233 without the cases, so it's 233 minus it's 22 kilos more for the cases. All the rest will be the same, but we can have a look at the cases in case that interests you. And it's also the weight of the bars, I guess. So we see extra reinforcement here. They usually don't put this one here, but maybe they put it because it's kind of back for some reason. So that adds to the weight, but adds to the security of the cases, I guess. This is a scooter from Kiwi. I think Kiwi is a big brand, is it, in scooters? That's why I've got this here. The translation says Guangwei. Anyway, these are the specs. Max speed 85. 1210 the wheels. 8.6 kilowatts. It's a 150cc bike. Here we've got a bike that I saw China festival, not festival, what do you call them? Exhibitions last year, and I thought, oh, this is cool. But there are two versions. Find the difference. Where's the difference? Where's the difference? It's got a little seat in the rear. Amazing. Okay, this is a bike. It's like a motard cruiser. Lots of suspension and very low to the ground for short people. And it's kind of cool. I like it. It's like modern cruiser bobber thingy. I like it. It's fun looking, and I think it's a 125 or something. Let's have a look at the specs. It's the SR150 and max speed 99, kill weight 144, wheelbase 1475, front rear 15, small, 120, 140, and it's 150cc, single cylinder, 12.5 kilowatts. So specs wise, it's a disappointment. But the looks are amazing. Very cool looking bike. Same driven here, we see. It's got a tube, metal tube here for a swing arm. It's got a thing to hold the plate in the rear. I like the looks of it. I don't care about the specs. It looks cool. I don't know what you think. I don't care. You probably couldn't even see the whole bike. Anyway, now you can. Yeah, I like this. Like it. I've seen it before, as I said, in the red color. I didn't say red color, but now I see it in the blue color, and it's cool. Yeah, and very nice. Okay, next. I forgot. It's got also a cool name. I think it's called Punk. I'm not sure. Or Riot or something. Punk. I don't know, who cares. And this is the other bike from Zongsun. It's been around for a while. It seems updated, at least I haven't seen this pink color before. There was a white one for sure. It's basically a scooter that looks like a cruiser. I like this kind of mixture of things. It's very cool. See, you can see here the fake cover of the suspension in the front. It's a conventional fork in the front, but I guess that's its job. It's tiny, it's for girls obviously, and yeah, it is what it is. I like the seat here, it holds you because the bike is so fast. Top speed 92 kilometers per hour, 119 kilos. The front is 17, the rear 14, 90, 140. Wheelbase 1453, and power 8.2 kilowatts, 124 cc. And there is also a version without the seat thing on the rear. I guess you can get on it easier without it if you like getting on with your leg like this. But this is cool to have on your bike. Maybe they could put a one off that flips up. That would be more useful or easier to get on the bike. But you can always use the bent knee over the seat technique, I guess. So this is another scooter from QJ. It's a 150 SF, I think it's called. And there are two versions, the adventure version here with the bars and the non-adventure version without the bars. And these are the specs. 12 kilowatts, 150 cc, 134 kilos, 12 and 12 the wheels. This is a cool cool looking bike. Well, it's called the LL 500, I think. Lulu 500. Ah, it's is that a cover? No, it's not a cover. What is this thing? Anyway, it's a 4-cylinder. I like how the pipes are 2 and 2. That's interesting. Huge tire in the rear. Like, could they fit a bigger one? The seat doesn't look anything amazing. It really looks like that old 400 Honda they say they will bring back or brought back. Radial brakes, 2 pistons here or 4 pistons, 2 disc brakes in the front. Okay, let's see some specs. This is the ZX 500, LL 500. Maybe this is a Zhang Xuan bike. You know that guy that was the president of Kove, and this is one of his bikes, the new ones. He had released a sports bike. I think it was a 4-cylinder, so maybe this is the street version. Okay, it all looks very old and cool. A timeless design, someone could say. I think it looks ugly, and it's got this extra thing for it. Does go to the side. What is this thing? Carburetor. Anyway, so let's read the specs. Chongqing Jini Tangbo. Maybe not read them. And it's another version, and something different about the lights or something, but we can have a look at the instruments here. They look analog style, so that's cool. Old style, simple, sometimes old and analog looks better in daylight and nighttime conditions. Maybe not so much night times, but certainly daytime. 205 max speed, curb weight 175, it's very low. Wheelbase 1395, so it's kind of a small bike. Front and rear is 17, 120, 180. 54 kilowatts. ZX, it is that guy, I think. ZX 459, so it's a 4-cylinder, 470. Okay, cool bike. Here we have a Hongdu Vespa looking scooter. Let's have a look at it. I like the color, that's why I put this. These are the specs. 21 kilowatts, 300 cc. And here we have it. Vespa looking scooter with a golden copper paint job. Again, the same color on the rims. An air canister on the suspension in the front. With a disc brake. Oh, this bike is amazing! Amazing, I say. And this is the other color. It's different design too here in the front. It seems like we're having a new Benelli TRK 500, I think. Seems to be this, and it looks pretty much the same with the old one. Brembo brakes, tubeless spoke wheels. In China, in Europe, they don't bring it with tubeless. What is different? I don't know. What does it say here? I don't know. There's two versions. Here's the street version, aluminum swing arm, huge bars here, protecting bars. Maybe it's the bars. I don't remember having bars on this TRK. And what does it say here? I have no idea. SP? Super. See lots of lights here, so that's maybe a new addition. So maybe it's the new 500 for 2026. A more complete bike. Twin cylinder again. Got no indication here that we used to have. Little orange detail here. And on the street version it's a gold detail. SLP. And it's the version with the cases, so it will be plus the bars, a super heavy edition. BJ 500. 248 with the cases, so remove 30 to 20 kilos for the weight of the bike. Max speed 172. Wheelbase 1500, it's similar to the old one. 110, 150 for 1917 and 120, 160 for 1717. So lighter, not lighter, skinnier tires for the off-road version, if you can call it off-road. And we see it's a twin cylinder 550cc 45 kilowatts. So let's compare it with the current TRK. So the bars are different, it's got bars, but they're different looking here. Just remembered, now I saw them. See them better in this photo. And it's 500cc and it's 35 kilowatts in Europe. But that's probably for the regulations we've got here in Europe. So 10 kilowatts less. And it doesn't have the aluminum swing arm, so maybe it's what we're getting next year. Yeah, you can clearly see the bars are different, but it's just bars, you can change those very easily. The frame looks the same from this angle, or at least very similar to me. It's got a protector underneath, big plastic one. Which is different. Brembo brakes. The seat looks better on the new one here. Thicker, bigger for the passenger and the driver. Anyway, you must wait and see if this will be the new TRK for 2026. We have a CF motor here, the CLC 450 or whatever, belt driven. I don't know what's different here. They've probably changed something to the previous one. Do we want to have a look? No, we are not very interested. I'm just going to read the specs. Max speed 153, curb mass 185, wheelbase 1485, 1616 and 3050. Twin cylinder, 30 kilowatts, 449cc. Okay, in a close-up, it's got a cover here for the air. Can't see the brakes because they're on the other side. Tell me in the comments, do you spot a difference here? Seat looks nice with a nice pattern on it for the driver, and this seems to be very close here, so very bent knees for the passenger. I just noticed something. Where is the shifter? So maybe this is some kind of automatic version. Automatic CLC. Unless I've gone blind. So an automatic, yes, see here, the switch. So it's an automatic CLC 450 or 400 or whatever it is. So that's the big news from CF Moto. Amazing. Okay. Here we have a bike from Benda. Benda the Bender. And it's belt driven, V-engine, huge seat, comfortable. Even the passenger seat looks comfortable. Amazing. So let's read about this monster or monstrosity. PT250, that's a 250, okay. Wheelbase 1525, okay. Front and rear 16, max speed 120, pure weight 206, kilowatts 19. So a huge bike with a small engine, V engine 250 cc. So it won't be super fast, but it's super cool. Yeah. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. So that's all the bikes for this version of Chinese motorcycles, new from the government papers in China. I'm Before. If you like this video, leave a like. If you don't like it, why don't you like it? Bye. And before I leave, I'm gonna give an award of the most interesting bike of this lot, and that goes to not this, but this new motorcycle 700cc from Commuter. It reminds me of something else from some other company. A Yamaha, maybe a Honda, something it reminds me of. But it's the most interesting bike of this lot. Bye!